Hello and welcome to Colred Plays Raid Shadow Legends. I am Colred. Thank you for being here. And it is that time. It is just that time. In today's video, we are going to be focusing on gear. Primarily, we're going to be doing a gear cleanse, but we're also going to be doing a gear set review. So whether you need to learn how to manage your account and do a good gear cleanse, what you might want to do, what kind of gear you want to save, and the most efficient way to do that, we've got you covered there. If you're also interested in what are all these gear sets about? What do they do? What stats should I look for on them? Who can I apply them to? We're also going to cover some of that. So gear cleanses are really important, but it also gives you a great opportunity to assess the gear that you have and consider who you might be able to rebuild a little bit better, on your roster. Where can that gear go? So why am I doing a gear cleanse right now? Very quickly, I'm going to jump here into my mailbox, and you're going to see that I've got 247 pieces here out of 400. Now, some of them are pots and whatever, but I'll show you. Like, okay, so I've got that, and then I've got those, and then the rest are artifacts. So out of the 247, I've got 244 extra pieces here in my overflow, and that's not great. And some of the pieces here could be very good. Some of them could be sold for silver, whatever, but I want to empty this. Now, if we go into my gear, you can see up here at the top, it actually tells you how much gear you have in storage. Well, I have 1,300 pieces out of 1,300 pieces. So I need to clear at least those 243 or whatever. I need to clear 250 spots here to even begin to empty my mailbox. And then, obviously we have all of the opportunities to potentially sell this gear for silver, roll them up and see what they're going to do, and figure out if there are some champions we can actually upgrade or maybe some new champions we can build. So this is going to be sort of a mini lesson on how to organize your gear storage, artifact storage, and then also, like I said, we're going to be talking about each and every set. So the first thing you need to do in order to be good at doing this kind of thing, dealing with your gear, organizing your gear, is you have to become very familiar with this filter. Now, the filter is a powerful tool. It's a powerful sorting tool. It's become more advanced over time, so it didn't used to be this advanced. But now we have a lot of different tools that we can use in order to kind of search for things that we need or things that we want to throw away. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to rank and rarity, and I'm going to look at 1 and 2, 3, and 4-star gear and see if I have any. I'm instantly going to throw all of that stuff away because where I am in the game after 2+ years of playing, I don't need any 4-star gear. I'm only going to keep 5 and 6-star. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to shut that out. I'm going to look at 5-star gear that is low rarity. So say up to rare. Okay. Now I do have some pieces here. And again, up in the top left corner, it'll tell you how many pieces are actually selected here. How many are filtered for. I'm going to go, okay, so I do have some blue gear. Now blue gear at 5 stars is the least powerful gear I save. And so what I would normally do here, I'm not going to do this right now, but what I would normally do here is make sure that every single piece of 5-star blue gear is perfect, right? I want only the perfect stats. So when I look here at this this level 16, it's got speed on it. It's going to need at least crit rate or accuracy to be perfect. Honestly, this is not even perfect. I would probably chuck this, except it's already level 16. So it probably came off of a champion a while ago. Now I'm looking here and I'm like, okay, this speed boot is actually really good. It has crit rate. It also has defense and resist, which go together. You use speed boots on defensive champions. You use it on support champions. So, the crit rate and the defense, maybe there's a defensive, based damage dealer or something that I would use this on, or tank. That's fine. Maybe just a little bit of extra damage on the tank. But again, I'm looking at the stats and I'm trying to decide who would this go on. Now, for some sets like speed, you're basically going to keep any piece that is decent. So in a lot of cases, I'm not going to throw out speed. But if I'm looking at other sets, you'll see I have very few 5-star rare gear here. So let me look at this. All right, this helmet is already not perfect, right? For lifesteal, it's not a 6-piece set. It's not at least an epic. So I would be looking here for, say, speed and crit rate. Maybe crit rate and crit damage. You put lifesteal on damage dealers, and those are the stats that I need there. So this is not really a good enough piece, so I can go ahead and sell this piece. Now, rather than do that just with the rares, which I would normally do first and then work my way through, I'm actually going to go ahead and just select everything, because we're going to do literally every set here. Okay, so I'm not going to need to use this much. But before I get into every set, there's another thing that I can do, which is I'm going to pick the bottom row of artifacts. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to primary stats, and I'm going to choose flat HP, flat attack, and flat defense. Now, typically you want percentage stats of these three stats. You want percentage HP, percentage attack, percentage defense. So I can look here and say, okay, for some reason when I rolled these, I didn't throw them out. I'm definitely going to throw out the speed 5-star. I'm going to throw out the accuracy 5-star. I'm going to throw out the frost, even though this is a legendary piece. I don't need it. 5 stars. Toxic boots, yes, those are gone. Avenging boots are gone. Now, the impulse set is a very rare set that I don't have a lot of. So if it has some decent substats, I might like speed, defense, HP. Here we've got an accuracy. So I might go ahead and hold on to these just for now. This piece does not look very good, so I'm going to sell that piece. Yeah. And now also Righteous. Righteous is a very rare piece, a difficult one to get. So I might just hold on to it for now. Those boots are awful. Man, those boots are awful. Those gloves are pretty awful too. Okay, so let's sell them. I need to make a lot of space here. So just by doing this and picking your flat stat pieces of, you know, these three, so boots, gauntlets, and chest piece, you're going to be able to get rid of a fair number of bad pieces right away. Remember, you can't do that with the top three because those already have flat stats as the main stat, but you generally don't want flat stats as the main stat on any of these three pieces. So that's 8 more gone. Great, 350,000 silver. I'm going to hold on to these impulse pieces. If I'm carrying a few pieces in a rare set with flat stats, as long as the substats are good, that might allow me to finish out one of these rare sets and actually put it on somebody, even if it's not completely optimal. If I need the set for some reason, I want to have these pieces available. Okay, so we are back at the top of the artifact storage here. And one of the things that you want to note is these 3 arrows. If you click these little 3 arrows on any of the sets, you close all of the sets. Right, so now all of them are closed. This is an easy way to like scroll if you're looking for a particular set and you want to see what's available. You can also use this with the filter. So for instance, let's say I wanted to find gloves that had a substat of speed and accuracy. Right, you can see that it reduces the list here, but these are the lists that now have this. And I can open any one of these. Let's say I open the Immortal set, and I'm going to find that particular type of glove. It's got speed and accuracy on it, and it is a gauntlet. You could also open them all up again by clicking the 3 arrows, and you can see all of them. Okay, so that's just a little tip for like how to sort more quickly. But we really don't need any of this because right now I'm going to go through. Oh, let's take that off. I'm going to go through every single set. All right, so one of the things that you'll notice right away is I don't have life set. I don't have offense set. I have a few of those pieces that are very good on some champions, but those are relatively weak pieces and relatively weak sets, and I don't really want to collect those. So I generally just trash them when I see them, again, unless they're like 6-star epics or legendaries and they're absolutely perfect. And then I might save them and put them on a champion. But in most cases, you're going to have better options later on. Okay, so now let's look at the defense pieces that I have here. Now, first of all, you can see on this weapon, I have double roll into HP and a single roll into speed. It is a 5-star epic. These are good stats for a weapon in this set. Remember, you can't get defense on a weapon, right? So you can't get flat defense, you can't get defense percentage. I could get accuracy here, potentially, maybe crit rate or crit damage. Those could potentially be good. But these are very good stats for a defensive set. And this would probably go on maybe an HP-based support champion, maybe somebody like a buffer who didn't need accuracy, right? This is not great for a debuffer because it doesn't have any accuracy. And it's not somebody who I care about crit rate on. This is an okay piece to hold on to. I may hold on to it just for now to see how many spots I clear, but this is definitely a bubble piece. This could potentially go because it's in a set that's not particularly valuable. Now, this piece has already been leveled up to 16. It does have a triple roll into defense. It also has HP and accuracy. The crit damage is kind of a throwaway stat here, but with that triple roll, I'm really reluctant to get rid of it. Now, this is a tricky piece because it is a crit rate percentage glove, which is not super valuable on a defense set unless you're also going to have crit damage. Like if you're using a defensive based nuker or something, you could use this. But usually then you want crit damage on the gloves, right? And you want crit rate as a substat. The substats here are excellent: accuracy, speed, and resist. So those in a defensive set make a lot of sense. But the only defensive based champions who really need crit rate are champions that need crit rate to land some kind of instant effect or debuff. So I can think of Allure, right? Allure needs 100% crit rate to for her A1 to decrease turn meter. So if you have an Allure, this would be potentially a good piece for her. If you have a Padma has an A1 that when she crits lands an AoE decrease attack. So again, for Padma, this would actually be a pretty good piece. She's also sort of a defensive based damage dealer. So this would be great for Padma. I have a Padma. Let's go look at her. There she is. This is the glove that I've got on her. It is crit rate. It has accuracy. So this feels like a little bit of an upgrade potentially because it's going to give me more speed. It's 6 stars instead of 5 stars. It's going to allow me to maybe take some crit rate off of her somewhere else. And then I'm getting more defense, which is her main stat, instead of HP based on the set, right? So if this rolls well, I could definitely use it on a Padma. So I'm going to actually roll this up a little bit, and I'm just going to take it 4 levels at a time. I'm looking for speed or accuracy, preferably. The resistance is not hugely important on Padma. We got to roll into resist. We got 2 rolls into resist. So this is not really a great, it's a good piece, but it's not a great piece. The question is it better than what she's got? I lose accuracy, I gain a tiny bit of speed and resist. I'd rather have the defense percentage from those other gloves, I think. So I'm just going to go ahead and sell this because I don't have another champion in my roster who's going to use this piece. Now, the first thing you may know is right away, okay, we're moving kind of slowly, but I wanted to explain my rationale for clearing out pieces. You want to roll up pieces that have potential to see if they're actually going to roll into the potential. Don't just hold on to pieces with potential, right? Check out their potential. Use it up. See if it's going to land. If it doesn't land, go ahead and sell it. Don't have it cluttering your artifact storage. Get the silver back. You know, another thing is I always try to envision what champion it would go on to. So if I don't have a champion that the gear could be useful for, or there isn't a really good usage for it for another champion that maybe I don't have but I'm hoping to get, then I'm going to ditch it as well. By the way, you may have noticed I got some tournament points there. There is a CVC going on. I highly recommend that if you're going to do a gear cleanse like this, do it during either a CVC event or an artifact enhancement event. So again, you will always want to be double dipping your resources, especially as a free-to-play player like myself. So that's why you're seeing those points there. And that's why I'm doing this today, because it is a CVC. All right, now you can see I've got a ton of speed gear. Speed gear really is all about one thing, and that is speed. So I always want speed substats here. So if I don't have speed substats here, it's rare that I'm going to hold on to a piece. Sometimes just having a good piece can be enough. Like here, I'm getting 23% on my crit rate. So I rolled a triple roll into crit rate. I don't know what made me want to roll this out anyway, but it does have, 3 very good stats: crit rate, accuracy, and crit damage. So this could potentially go on somebody. It's already leveled up to 16. I'm not going to throw this away. 23% crit rate is a lot on a single item. So I'm just going to go ahead and, skip past these 16s. Now let's start looking at these others. Okay, only a single roll here into speed, so that's going to go. How about this one? A single roll into speed, but it does have crit rate and crit damage. Those are all pretty good. It is a 5-star piece. Okay, that's going to go. Let's look here. This does crit rate, crit damage, and accuracy are all good. Defense is good. This could be a great piece for somebody, but I'm really looking for more speed, so I'm gonna sell that one too. Single roll into speed here. That's disappointing. That's gonna go. Yeah, the best I could do here is a single roll into speed, so that's going to go. Single roll into speed, that's going to go. All right, I need to roll that one up. So let me go ahead and sell these. And then let's roll this one up and hope we get at least a double roll into speed. If we go into attack at all, I'm selling. So we're selling. Now, you know, one of the things I might do normally is I might hold on to 1 or 2 pieces in every slot. Like right now, you can see I've sold literally all of my helms, so I have no speed helms. So I might normally hold on to just like 1 or 2. But in this case, I just wanted to show you like how I would make the decision on those pieces of gear. Plus, I'm pretty sure I have like 5 or 6 pieces in the mailbox waiting for me, and I still have to pull those out. All right, so let's go through the rest here. Double roll into speed, that's a save. Single roll into speed here, probably not enough. Single roll, no. I'm not gonna look at the 16s. This one could actually still land a double speed into, double roll into speed with crit rate, could be worthwhile. Let's go ahead and roll that one up at least once to see if we hit speed. If we miss speed on the next one, if we land crit rate, I might still hold on to it. But if we go into defense or HP, this one's a goner. All right, defense, it's gone. So we can sell that piece. Let's look at this one. Double roll into speed, that's staying. All right, now when I get to the gauntlet, chest piece, and boots, I tend to hold on to a wider variety of stuff. So like defense percentage, I might just need that in a speed set at some point. And, you know, I only have a single stat of speed here at 5, but it might be enough, so I'm going to hold on to that. All right, this has no speed roll, but it might be my only HP glove, so I'm going to hold on to that. Crit damage, again, it does have crit rate on it, so that's maybe worth holding on to. I mean, I can throw this gear, I can throw these levels. If you have bad level 16s or level 12s, you can always throw them on like faction war champions. So I don't want to necessarily just ditch that one. I want to find a champion to drop it on. But for right now, it's not particularly good. That one's okay. That one's pretty good. All right. So I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell those. I'm going to roll up this speed, this one right here. Let's hope we roll into speed. All right, we got one roll into speed. Let's get another one. If I get a double roll, there we go. Let's go all the way up to 12. Let's get a triple roll. Nice. 20 speed. Okay, on a defensive piece, this attack percentage is probably throwaway, but that's okay because triple speed is so important. This might actually even go on like my Arbiter or something. This is a ton of speed. Obviously, I can glyph this up to 8. I could get 28 speed out of this one piece. So that was a really big win for me, and I'm definitely going to be looking for a champion to put this on. In fact, I'm going to go look at my Arbiter right now and look at her chest piece. And her chest piece has 17. So she actually does have a triple roll on this, but it is a 5-star piece. It's also defense. And now, so I'm going to end up with more defense. I'm going to take this one all the way to 16 now just to see what it gives me. I'm hoping for accuracy or, yeah, probably accuracy or resistance. Attack is fine too. It's not a big deal. But so I'm going to end up with a swap here, and this is going to get me 10% more defense. I'm going to lose some HP, it looks like, pick up a little attack. And even though I'm losing 2 speed right here, once I glyph this out, it's going to be more speed. The biggest loss is the 19 accuracy. But this will probably end up going on my Deacon Armstrong. So I'll get 2 upgrades for 1 here. So that's really good. Okay, I'm going to skip past the speed set. And now we're just going to talk about all of the sets as we go. Crit rate, you need crit rate on crit rate and maybe crit damage on crit rate. So if you don't have at least a crit rate roll, you may as well throw it away because the whole idea here is to get extra crit rate and save yourself from the need of having crit rate gloves, right? So you want typically like crit rate gloves in a crit rate set. You could do it, but generally that's not a great investment. I would rather have crit damage gloves here. So anything with a crit rate substat can stick around. Anything else goes. If it doesn't have crit rate, it goes. So this one doesn't have crit rate. Don't know why I ran that up. Oh, it's got double speed for some reason. And here it has crit rate. I'm probably going to ditch these gloves. All right. I will probably not use most of these pieces, but again, some of these pieces are decent and I could put them on a faction war champion. Or if I really wanted to say build a champion with exactly 70% or exactly 100% crit rate, sometimes having a crit rate set around allows you to manipulate the numbers a little bit and get some extra stats on them from somewhere else, from a different set. Crit damage, we need crit rate on our crit damage sets. So crit rate, great. We got crit rate here. Let's roll it. Let's see if we hit into the crit rate. We usually need at least a double roll in crit rate. All right, so this one's going to go. Let's look at this one. Speed and crit rate. Those are excellent. HP percentage too. All right, we landed in crit rate. That's awesome. Perfect. How about a triple? We got a triple crit rate in a crit damage set. It is a 5-star piece, but this is going to go on a nuker. So this is awesome. Let's go ahead and run this one up to 16 and see if we get something else that's good. Attack percentage. Okay, that's actually really nice because this is going to go on an attack percentage nuker, attack-based nuker. So that's going to be a good piece. Let's look at this piece here. Crit rate, crit damage, and accuracy on 6 stars is not bad. This one missed on the crit rate. Probably sell that one. Let's go here. Crit damage is good on crit damage. I still want to roll into crit rate. If I get one roll into crit rate or triple into crit damage, I could still make this piece work. Triple crit damage on a crit damage set is very nice. Now, 5% crit rate is low. Okay, typically when you're building, let's say you're building crit damage on a champion with crit damage gloves, that means you need roughly 16% crit rate on all of your other pieces in order to get the 100% crit rate you need. But this could work on a 70% crit rate champion. So if I only need 70%, then I could potentially save here. Or maybe I have, you know, another triple roll into crit rate on another piece. So I could potentially pair this with a crit rate set to get those extra points back if I need to. So that's a pretty good piece. Let's look here. Double roll and crit rate. Single roll and crit rate, that's probably gone. Single roll into crit rate. I should roll this one just to see. It did land into crit damage. That's not bad. Double roll and crit rate. Crit rate and resistance. I have a lot of shields. I don't really need that one. If I rolled again into crit rate here, it could be okay. Same thing there. So let's go ahead and sell, and then we'll roll just some more pieces here. Let's get crit rate. We got it. Nice. That's going to be a piece to hold on to. Let's see if we land here. We land the defense, which is not great. We got the crit rate. Has to land crit rate now. That's a little bit tricky. I'm not going to throw it out just yet. All right, for gauntlets, I'm really looking for crit damage gauntlets. I don't know why I'm holding on to this. Those are gone. I don't need crit rate gloves in the crit damage set. What I need is crit damage gloves with crit rate substats. So this one. Let's get a roll into crit rate here. All right, we've got to get at least one roll. Okay, so now I can hold on to these. I don't even have to roll them up anymore because for a crit damage gauntlet, you know, I know that those are going to be good. If I can get another roll into crit rate here, that would be even better. But at least with 8%, now I can start to think about, okay, can I pair it with a crit rate set, or can I put it on a 70% crit rate champion? Attack. Oh, these are nice. So again, here you're probably looking for attack percentage, HP percentage, defense percentage. You need rolls in crit rate. I'm missing on this one. This one didn't hit crit rate at all, so I'm probably going to ditch this piece. For boots, you want any kind of percentage boots or speed boots that have crit rate as a substat. This is unfortunate. I don't know why I picked this one, but it's got 45 speed, so I'm not going to waste that. I can throw that on a faction war champion. This is not great. I don't know why I rolled that up. Let's get rid of those. HP with crit rate, crit rate, crit rate, defense with accuracy and crit rate, speed with crit damage. These aren't great either, but they're already 16. Okay, so now let's start talking about the sets, and I'm going to move a lot faster. So on accuracy sets, what are you looking for? Well, obviously accuracy is a substat. Speed could also be really important. Resistance could be important. Any defensive stat can be important because accuracy goes on debuffers, and debuffers need to survive. So speed, accuracy, and survival stats. This attack percentage here is not particularly good, so I would probably, you know, not hold on to those if I didn't have already rolled up kind of the accuracy and the HP there. This is pretty good, right? Accuracy and speed, one roll into each. That's actually a pretty solid 6-star rare piece. So I could definitely use this on somebody, probably in a faction crypt, or maybe, you know, like a support at like 5 stars or something like that. But most of this gear is actually not going to get used. So I want to look at my 5-star gear here and think about selling these pieces. Yeah, I'm going to sell this piece. There's no speed there. It's a 5-star piece. I have perception gear, so yep, I'm going to sell this piece. Let's look at the chest pieces. This is a 5-star piece with accuracy and speed. So let's roll that up. Let's see if we hit on the speed. We did. We're going to get a second roll on the speed. I'll take it up to 12. Spreading it around. I'm not sure about that piece right now. Having accuracy on a chest plate in the accuracy set is really nice. I would have preferred more speed here, but that might play. Definitely in Faction Wars, it could play. Accuracy on the boots. Okay. Let's talk about the resistance set. Same thing like the accuracy. Anytime you have a main, anytime the set gives you a flat boost to a stat, you're looking for that as substat roll. So here I'm looking for anything with resistance. If I don't have resistance, I need to think about the other defensive stats that might go along with resistance, like HP here. Speed and accuracy can also be really important on a resistance set. Obviously, accuracy with resistance, like a resistance might be a cleanser, so then you don't need accuracy, but sometimes cleansers are also debuffers. I don't have any 5-star gear here, so I'm just going to kind of skip that set. Let's look at Lifesteal. Lifesteal is a set that you use a lot early on, but it's not particularly valuable in the late game. You do want to hold on to a few really good pieces. So you want to hold on to basically perfect pieces. If these pieces aren't perfect, I'm going to chuck them. Speed and crit rate and HP. That's pretty good. I need to roll into either speed or crit rate or both. There we go. So this is going to be a valuable piece. I can probably hold on to this for quite a while. There we go. All right, now I don't have to roll it up just yet. I don't know who I'm going to use it on. And I don't need to waste the silver right now, but that is a piece to hold. Here, crit rate, two rolls in a crit rate. That's pretty good. Speed and attack, that's not as good. I don't know why I rolled that up. I think maybe if I had hit a double roll into speed, that would have been worth it. Crit damage here with a crit rate roll. That's not awesome, but you can see why I held on to it. Defense percentage with accuracy. That would go on a tank. We don't normally put tanks in lifesteal anymore, so that's probably gone. Crit rate with crit damage is not bad. Crit rate with HP and speed, that's not good. Attack percentage on gloves make no sense. The only time you want attack percentage on gloves is when you use a bomb champion, and you're never going to put a bomb champion in lifesteal. Crit damage with crit rate, that's pretty good. Attack percentage here. I would prefer crit rate down here somewhere. Let me check my other chest pieces. Yeah, I have 2 other attack chest pieces that both have crit rate, so we're going to sell this piece. And that's also something you can do. You can see how many of a particular type of gear that you have. So if you have like 10 speed boots, you don't necessarily need to just keep stockpiling speed boots. You could, because speed boots are the one thing you can stockpile. But I should have said like attack percentage boots. You don't only, you maybe only need 1 or 2 pairs of attack percentage boots. Crit damage, still no crit rate. This one's really good. That's okay. None of these are great. Like, this is not great. But I'm going to hold them onto them because I've rolled them up. Okay, days. I don't hold on to anything in the day set. I sell the day set. You can certainly hold on to the day set if you want. If you have good pieces. It's not a bad set because it has a decently high chance of proccing, but yeah, I don't use sleeps because I use a lot of AoEs. Cursed. Chance to place Hex. Let's go ahead and sell it. We're not trying to place Hex. We have a Mithrala to place Hex. We don't need those. Frost. Frost is a good set. I like using this. There are a couple of kind of spot uses for it, but you don't need a ton of it. Because maybe you're going to build 2 or 3 champions in Frost ever. So I can, I have 5 weapons here. I definitely don't need all of these weapons. I would probably look for defensive stats, survivability stats. So speed, HP, resistance, defense, maybe accuracy. So I'm just gonna sell this piece here. I'm not really gonna go through my Frost set because I've done it recently, but that's what I'm looking for. Let's look here. Accuracy, defense percent, resistance. Okay, I'll hold on to those. Frenzy. Now, Frenzy gives you turn meter for each debuff received. You can see I have a pretty good piece here with 3 triple roll into speed. It's literally the only one I have right now. I think I have some champions like in the vault somewhere that have it. But yeah, so I don't need to clear this out. For Frenzy, you do want to look for, so it gives you 5% turn meter for each debuff received. You don't want resist on your Frenzy because I don't think it works. I don't think it works if you like resist the debuff. You do want survivability stats though, because you need that, you know. So this might go on a champion like Valkyrie or somebody who already has a cut in mechanic in the arena where they're getting turn meters from like passively from what the enemy does. So you could enhance that with a Frenzy set. I just basically held on to this because I got a triple roll in speed. I don't know if I'll ever use it. Regeneration, great set. You can see I have a lot of pieces here. All survivability stats here, plus speed and accuracy. So you might put a debuffer in regeneration. You might put a tank in regeneration. So yeah, I'm going to look through my 5 stars right here and just see what I have. Okay, these are very good stats. But again, this attack percentage is not particularly useful. Crit rate and crit damage, I'm not really trying to do a ton of damage with whoever's in a regeneration set. I would roll this up, but honestly, I just feel like I'm going to be throwing silver away. So let's throw that out. I know that was a little bit painful for some of you. This is a better piece, right? Because speed, accuracy, and HP. So we have the accuracy the debuffer needs and the HP for survivability. We're going to get bigger heals the more HP we have, and HP percentage is the best way to do that. Or increase that accuracy, HP percentage, accuracy. Okay, so the speed is not a big part of this roll here, but double accuracy could be very useful. Let's look. Do we have any other 5-star pieces? We have some 5-star pieces down here. Speed, HP, and crit damage. Speed, defense, and crit damage. Neither one of those are bad, but if we roll into the crit damage, then we probably don't want this piece. Okay, the HP is good. Double HP. Triple HP would be fine. And speed. That's a pretty good piece. How about this one? Getting those tournament points. Speed. Speed's always good because the more turns you get, the more times regeneration procs. That crit damage, not as good a piece, not bad. I'll hold on to it for now. I have a lot of shields though. Okay, I'm going to skip past the rest of this set, but again, you're looking for HP percentage, maybe some defense percentage, accuracy, speed, resistance, and you're basically avoiding the damage stats here for the most part. All right, immunity. Immunity is a weird set, and honestly, I don't use it all that often, so I don't know why I hold on to all these pieces. You can get immunity with like resistance, right? Because immunity and resistance they go hand in hand. Immunity gives you 2 turns where you can't be debuffed, right? So once you spawn in, usually you would use it in like arena or for a fight, like you want to make sure you have a cleanser that's always available to cleanse everybody, so you put them in an immunity set. Resistance does the same thing. If you have high resistance, you can potentially resist debuffs. But what I would say is you want one or the other, right? You put an immunity set on somebody you want no resistance on, because the immunity like acts as the resistance, and then you don't need the resistance past that point. So you really only need the immunity for the first 2 turns. Or go ahead and put them in a resistance set and try to be immune through high resistance instead. So it feels like having resistance on an immunity set is counterintuitive, which is a little bit weird because in every other set, like if you have an accuracy set, you want an accuracy substat. But here, even though it's a resistance set, you don't want resistance as a substat, because then why would you use this set? Like, why not just use a resistance set? So I think what you really want here is you want like speed, defense, HP, accuracy, right? This is another cleanser or debuffer kind of situation where you want to get somebody at least 1 turn. And so you would probably use them, in an immunity set, just like they need to be fast enough to not get lapped, right? And be hit like 3 times too fast. So I'm probably going to just go ahead and sell this piece right here. And I'm going to worry about the rest later. I don't want this video to go too long. All right, shield set. Shield set is great. Anything HP, basically. You want HP. Accuracy, like think about the fact that the bigger the HP pool, the bigger the shield. This set is all about helping your entire team survive. So you're not really too worried about the stats on this particular champion. You might want to like focus accuracy if it's a debuffer who's HP. You might maybe want like speed if it's a, say, like a cleanser or a healer who's got a lot of HP. But otherwise, you don't care so much. Defensive stats are generally good. HP is the best. Anything that's not HP, speed, accuracy, resistance, you don't care about damage stats at all. Relentless. Relentless is one of those sets I rarely throw out, even if the stats aren't perfect, because you always want, as many of these pieces as you can get. If you ever want to put somebody in a Relentless set, you don't want to be missing a particular piece, because you're going to pair it with another 2-piece set that's valuable. Usually a speed set or a perception set or something that's going to increase speed. So Relentless is another way to like get extra speed in a way, because you're getting extra turns. So basically speed substats are the most important, but it's hard to get these pieces with speed substats. And even if you like totally miss on your speed rolls, you might still just hold on to these pieces if they have other good substats. So crit rate and crit damage, accuracy and HP. Defense, accuracy, like I hold on to a lot more of these pieces than I probably should. And I could definitely sell like some of my 5-star pieces that don't have good substats. But again, it's so hard to get Relentless gear. I basically hold on to almost every piece I have. Savage. I got a ton of Savage here, and I really need to do a Savage cleanse. Basically, you want offensive stats here. Remember that Savage doesn't require you to be to be on an offense-based champion or an attack-based champion. If you have a defensive-based damage dealer or an HP-based damage dealer, you could still put these guys or this gear on those guys. So anything with crit rate is important. Crit rate and crit damage are going to be the most important. Speed is a little bit less important here, especially for an arena nuker, because you're probably going to be using turn meter boost on your arena nuker. So you don't want it to be your arena nuker to be too slow. But speed isn't a high priority on this set as it is in all the other sets. Rather, the biggest priority is crit rate and crit damage, and then whatever your main stat might be. So like this is a perfect piece here for an attack-based nuker. If I roll this up, I would probably be looking for crit rate first. That would be the most important, then crit damage, and then attack third. And as long as I get one roll into crit rate, this is probably going to be a keeper. I'd like a second roll into crit rate. But crit damage is also good. So even though I spread the rolls around here, this is a pretty valuable piece, and I'm going to hold on to it. As far as the chess pieces go, percentage chess pieces, again, preferably with crit rate in the substats. But if you don't have a lot of chess pieces, you may want to just hold, like I only have these 2 attack percentage chess pieces, so I'm holding on to them just in case I need them. Here's another one. I could probably get rid of that one. Here's another. I don't have any with crit rate. That's disappointing. So let's go ahead and sell. I think it was this one. Now, get rid of it. All right. Next set, Destroy. Destroy is a good set that you generally want to put on a damage dealer. So again, this is the same as every other set that you want to put on a damage dealer like Savage. Could be HP percent, attack percent, or defensive percent, but you're looking for crit rate and you're looking for crit damage. Accuracy is not really something that you worry about on this set. So this is an okay piece because it's got a double roll into speed. This is probably a throwaway piece. That's definitely a throwaway piece. So I'm probably going to just throw these 3 away. Let's go ahead and look at these. Again, no crit rate here. So these 2 are pretty tough. And then this one's good. Crit rate gloves. So even though, we would prefer crit damage gloves with crit rate substats, having this just in case, like you need, this isn't great. Just in case you need to get that 100% is good. HP percent, yeah, this is good with crit rate and speed. So this would be perfect on an HP based damage dealer. Got some speed boots, neither one of which have crit rate, which is a little disappointing, but obviously these are my only speed boots in this set, so I'm going to hold. Stun. Stun is about speed. Now, you're usually putting stun on anybody who has an AoE A1, and you're just worried about getting the stuns out there. However, a lot of those champions are pretty squishy. So you could say you're kind of building, like, let's say you're doing an attack-based AoE champion, like Skullcrown. You're using a Skullcrown or, another relatively squishy champion. Skullcrown, I know, has her passive, but what you might consider is like you're turning that AoE nuker into a support champion who controls, like is a crowd controller. So speed is important. And then you could use like damage stats if you want to pump more damage out of it, but you could also go purely defensive and just let the speed and the stuns do the work. So speed is really important. You can also go the other way and say, I am nuking and the stun is like a bonus. So you could go that route. So I typically look for speed. This is like not a good piece here, right? It doesn't have speed. It doesn't have crit rate. And it doesn't have a lot of defensive stats like HP or like here I could get, you can't get defense percent here, but you know, so that's not a great piece. Let's look through the gloves, crit rate, crit rate, crit damage with crit rate. Attack percentage, it does have speed, some defensive stats, and accuracy. Accuracy matters if your like AoE stunner needs to also be able to apply debuffs. So this is actually a pretty good piece here. Even though it's attack percentage, it's got like great substats. That's why I held on to it. A little bit weird with the attack percentage, but nice defensive stats here. No speed though. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is probably get rid of everything that doesn't have speed. Get it at least rid of them. Okay. Toxic set. I don't run a lot of toxic set. There are some good builds for solo champions. So I only typically hold on to 6-star gear that is very good for those solo champions. And again, you're going to want speed and then a lot of defenses, maybe some accuracy. So speed, accuracy, HP is good. Speed here. You know, this one doesn't have any speed, so I'm going to probably take that out. No speed there. That one's gone. No speed there. That one's gone. Let's check out these two. Speed. That's good. Speed. Okay. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to roll these two rares. If I don't hit in double speed, I'll probably sell. Okay, so that one's gone. And then this one here. No, I don't have to roll it to 8. It's already gone. Okay, so that's one of the things that you can do to help yourself with the gear cleanse is like pick the stat that you think you want to roll into or the 2 stats that you could roll into. And then if you don't roll into those, you can just get rid of the piece. So same thing here. Like I need the speed here on this helmet. If I don't get it, then it's not worth it. Even though there's crit rate there, that's not what this set is about. This set is about pumping out as many poisons as possible. You know, so again, speed and then probably defenses. Now you might think, okay, but poison is an offensive based stat. So you could put it on somebody who like drops a lot of hits and you want to do some offensive damage with it. I would say, yeah, sure. If you have somebody like that in mind and you want to build somebody like that, then you can do that. Maybe you say you want to build a Fenshi for like extra super crazy damage in Clan Boss or something. You could go with crit rate, crit damage, speed, you know, all that stuff that you would go with any damage dealer. But I'm not in that situation. I don't want to build a champion that way. Here we can get rid of this one. No speed. That's really the issue there. It's a good, otherwise it's a good piece. So, okay, toxic set. Provoke set. Provoke set is great. 30% chance to provoke. Anybody who's provoking needs defensive stats, probably high resistance, but needs HP and defense. The only other thing maybe you need here is speed. You don't need crit rate. You don't need attack percentage. You don't need crit damage. But I would say defense and resistance are very important because, you know, you're going to be pulling all of those A1 attacks. So you could get debuffed quite a bit. And that can actually make it harder for, like, let's say you get slowed or you get a drop defense on you and all of a sudden you're pulling all those provokes. You got a drop defense on you and you're slowed. You're not going to get around to your turn that much faster. So yeah, you know, defensive stats here. This is a decent piece. I'll roll it. If I land in crit rate, I'm probably going to sell it. So I got the speed, which is good. Let's try again. See if we can get defense. Okay. One more. Yeah, they spread me around. Not a great piece. Also, I don't have any other provoke gear right now. I have somebody built in provoke gear. I think 1 or 2 champions, but yeah. All right, let's look at the next one. Retaliation. Retaliation has changed. It's now a 2-piece set. So anybody that you want to have a counterattack on, you can put into this set. So really, you can use any stats because that could be a debuffer, it could be a damage dealer, it could be a healer. You want actually, like I would put it Cardiel in this because he heals off of his A1. So this is a decent piece. Potentially. I'm just going to hold on to it for now. I don't even need to roll it up. Avenging, I'm just selling. I don't care about Avenging. Chance to counterattack when receiving debuffs. That's an arena thing. You can definitely use it in arena, but I don't have the space or the time to consider it too heavily. Stalwart, I have a lot of pieces here. This reduces damage from AoE attacks, so this is good for a clan boss champion. This is good for a Hydra champion. This is good for any boss fight where the boss does primarily AoE damage. It can also be used in arena, but remember, this is a very defensive-based set. So you don't need crit rate, you don't need crit damage. Like this piece right here is a bad piece. Even though it's a 6-star legendary, which is why I held onto it, it literally only has one stat I could use, which is speed. So I'm just going to sell it. I don't want to get caught putting a bunch of silver into that. This is a little bit better resist and HP. Maybe accuracy, because defensive champions are sometimes debuffers. So I'll hold on to that for now. This one's good. 3 good stats. 2 good stats here. This one's not good. So let's go ahead and sell that. Accuracy and crit damage. Not enough defense there. I could work my way through the rest of it. It would be looking for the same. All right, Reflex. Reflex is about getting a random skill to cool down by 1. So you want speed here because if you're trying to reduce cooldowns, you're trying to get back to a skill really, really fast. So you want speed. And then that skill, it depends. Are you trying to get back to a debuff? Are you trying to get back to a damage skill like a nuke? Or are you trying to get back to a defensive skill like a buff for your team, like a strengthen or something? And that's going to determine the stats that you want to see. So always speed, always speed, but sometimes paired with defensive stats and sometimes paired with offensive stats. So like crit damage here with crit rate would be good. If I roll into the crit rate, then I'd probably keep this. If I don't roll into the crit rate, yeah, so I'm probably going to sell this at this point. Maybe I'll just take it to 12. Because these are kind of rare to get. Yeah, I put it into defense. That's disappointing. Probably still going to hold on to that piece. I shouldn't, but I probably. All right, 6-star speed boots. That's great. So good in reflex. Cruel. Okay, Cruel is ignore defense. I've got a lot of pieces in Cruel. You don't need defensive, chess pieces here. You only need attack percentage chess pieces here. That's the big thing to take away from this. You could have speed boots or you could have attack percentage boots. You're not going to put this on a champion that is a defensive based or HP based damage dealer. So everything should be poured into crit rate, crit damage, attack, and speed. Those are the 4 stats you're looking for. Probably in that order too. Crit rate, then crit damage, then attack, and then speed, or speed and attack maybe. So, accuracy is not super important. Sometimes accuracy will matter if you have a champion who has like an extra effect. But generally, you want to avoid anything that doesn't have crit rate. So I'm just looking for something that didn't have crit rate on it. This is kind of a weak piece here. Probably sell that. Another kind of weak piece there. See if anything doesn't have crit rate. At least I'm taking, this is pretty kind of weak. Yeah, that's medium. Let's look at the 5-star pieces here. Everything has crit rate, which is pretty good. So at least I've been keeping this set where it should be. Yeah, I think these two are relatively okay. So like for this set where I have a lot of it already and I have a lot of every piece, I'm looking preferably for 2 good stats in substats. So like crit rate and crit damage is good, or crit rate here and maybe accuracy. That's not bad. That's okay. Crit rate and crit damage with attack percentage is good here. Attack with crit rate and crit damage. So I need at least 2 good substat rolls in order to hold on to a piece at this point. Immortal. Immortal's about keeping you alive. And again, it's just like regeneration. You want to think of this as a weaker regeneration set. So HP percentage is really good. Speed is really good. You're probably going to put it on support champions. So accuracy and resistance can be important. But you don't care about crit rate and you generally don't care about crit damage or attack percent. You know, it's usually you want HP percent or whatever. So this piece here is not that good, so I'll sell that. You know, but speed is extremely important. Accuracy, defense, attack, that's fairly weak. Accuracy and defense are okay, but without speed, like I really want speed on pretty much every one of these, or I want like 3 defensive stats, like resistance, defense, and HP. Like this one is pretty good. Like it has HP, accuracy, and defense, so it has the 2 defensive stats plus a debuffer stat, so that's pretty solid. It's not great. I should actually probably roll this. If I roll into attack, I should throw it out. Defense, looking for more defense or accuracy. Yeah, I'm at 5-star piece too. I'm going to trash that. Again, I'm being a little bit brutal because I have a lot of pieces in this set. And also, I really need to clear out my gear. All right, let's go to the next set. Divine Offense. Divine Offense is an awful set. It's only slightly better than the offense set. You would run it just like the offense set. So you're looking for crit rate, crit damage, attack, and speed. Again, in that order: crit rate, crit damage, attack, and speed. Triple roll into speed. That's nice. These have the 3 offensive stats here, so it's not horrible. You could definitely put that on an Arena Nuker. The only other benefit here is the self shield for 3 turns. I'm like, this is probably not a good piece, and I already have enough pieces there. I don't have crit rate here. I don't know why I rolled that piece. Crit damage with crit rate and HP. That's not great. But I don't have many helmets, so I'm going to actually hold on to my helmets. Let's look at the chest pieces. Doesn't have crit rate. Has crit rate. Has crit rate. Doesn't have crit rate. Okay, let's get rid of them. Again, the boots should also have crit rate. Regardless of whether they're attack percentage or speed, you want crit rate on them. So these boots should go. Now, again, I've rolled these up to 12. They are 6-star. So I could potentially put this like as a broken set, just as a fast boot on somebody. But I have a lot of fast boots, so I don't really need that. Divine crit rate, just like crit rate. Same thing. You want crit rate. If it doesn't have crit rate on it, it should go. So this one here is gone. This one here is no crit rate. You could get away with like a piece that has like good crit damage, but no crit rate, because you're getting like this piece maybe because you're getting, you know, some crit rate from the set, but I don't really need it that much. And I don't use this set all that often. I don't know. These 2 pieces are both kind of not great. All right. Chest piece. Again, you can use HP percentage, defense percentage, or attack percentage with crit rate sets. So, but again, you want crit rate as a substat. So let's sell those pieces. All right, let's move on. Divine Life, another not good set. I would say you need HP percentage here. Like this is almost okay. I save these pieces because they roll and I look at it, I'm like, oh, speed, HP, accuracy, that's great, you know, but still, this is a trash set. I don't like any of these pieces. I think I'm going to sell everything. Okay, Swift Parry. Swift Parry is a tricky one because it's one of those special sets here. So now we get into those real special Forge sets. 18% speed, 30% crit damage, 50% unkillable. This is a nuker set, right? And so you would put this on a nuker. So you want crit rate, crit damage, and then your, you know, primary damage stat. Plus you want speed here. It's giving you extra speed, but this is, you know, so here I have speed and crit damage and HP. So this could go on an HP nuker. It doesn't have crit rate though. So I could potentially get rid of this one. But I don't have a lot of Swift Parry stuff, so I'm just going to hold on to that for right now. I'm going to skip deflection, really. You know, this is defensive based. You have a chance to deflect a debuff onto attacker. Any survivable champ, like any champ that needs to survive, deflection is good. Resilience, again, this you get from the Forge, and I definitely need to clear this out. So what I would say here is defensive stats, accuracy and speed, resistance, HP, and defense. Again, you're not really using this for damage dealers, but you could use this for an HP-based damage dealer or a defense-based damage dealer, and therefore you would want crit rate or crit damage. So that's what makes this set so hard to get rid of. But because I need to clear out my gear, I need to really look at these pieces. Wow, I should roll all of these pieces. Okay, let's roll these pieces. I basically need a double roll in the crit rate to make this worthwhile. Okay, so we'll hold on to that one. So I need double rolls. If I split, it's not nearly as worth it. Okay, speed. I mean, this is why it's weird. You get a lot of these pieces. Probably accuracy would be better here. That's actually not even bad. It's so hard to get rid of pieces in this set. You know, sometimes what I do is I just pick all my like 5-star and throw it out. It doesn't even matter if it's good. Like these two, you know, okay, those are actually decent pieces. Resist, HP, speed, and here speed, resistance, and accuracy, both good pieces. But I have so many shields up here. Look how many shields I have. You know, I have 15 shields or something, so I can just go ahead and sell these 2 5-stars, you know, and worry about the 6-stars that are maybe, you know, give me a chance of higher stats. So, all right, I'm going to skip through this set. This set is the hardest one for me to deal with. I carry too many pieces here. It's not an awesome set. It's not a bad set, but it's a very flexible set. You can really put it on almost anybody except an attack-based nuker. And you could even put it on an attack-based nuker if you just had the right stats and wanted to give them a little more survivability. Perception, you want speed and accuracy. That's what you want. You want speed and accuracy. This is not a great piece here, but it is a faction war piece. So basically, I'm looking for double rolls or triple rolls into speed or accuracy. I prefer at this point, especially if I have a 5-star piece, it has to have speed and accuracy on it. All right, making some room. It would be the same for all of the other pieces here. You want speed and accuracy. Sometimes you could just go for one or the other. That's fine because, like, for instance, let's say I got a triple roll into speed here, or double roll into speed. I am getting accuracy from the set. So most of my champions who I'm putting perception on need both. Not just one or the other. And so, like, you know, if you got a lot of, like, if I roll this up and I don't land in speed, say in the first 2 rolls. Okay, so I definitely landed here. Let's see if I get another one. Take it up to 12. All right. That's not awful because I did roll 2 into crit rate, which is something you sometimes need. So that's okay. I'll hold on to that one for a while. But as you can see, I have a lot of pieces here. So I should spend some time rolling them up. And seeing, you know, if I land into the stats I need. So sometimes, like I said, with the gloves, with the chest pieces, and with the boots, you may hold on to pieces that have the percentage, you know, that you want. So, like, for instance, I'm holding on to these crit damage gloves with crit rate, even though they don't have speed or accuracy. And I could roll into that and just see, you know, am I going to hit crit rate on this? Missed. Probably if I miss. Yeah. So that could be worth holding on to. It's hard to say. I definitely need to do a cleanse here, but I don't want you to have to watch that. All right, Untouchable. Untouchable is just immunity for 2 turns plus resistance. So this is like an immunity set and a resistance set put together. It's an awesome set. And now you don't have to choose one or the other. So once you start getting untouchable gear, you can start throwing away your immunity gear. Because I definitely think this replaces immunity before it replaces resistance. Fatal is attack percentage and crit rate percentage. I generally only use this on early game champions, like early game nukers, where I'm trying to squeeze every little bit of crit rate out of them. You could certainly put this on a champion that you have crit damage gloves on to try to get like a little bit of extra crit rate, but I don't need this, and I don't know, it doesn't have crit rate on it, so I'm selling that piece. Guardian, an amazing set that I keep a lot of pieces I probably shouldn't. Where absorbs 10% of all damage dealt to ally champions and then heals by 10% every turn. You want HP percentage on this set. You want speed on this set. You want resistance on this set. You want defense on this set. This is not a damage dealer. You do not need crit rate and crit damage here. So this is definitely a throwaway piece. That's a throwaway piece. Speed and accuracy you might want. Probably a throwaway piece. This is a better piece. Even without the speed, resistance, HP, and accuracy, those are all good stats. This is probably a throwaway piece. like I said, I tend to hold on to too many of these, and I should probably just throw away like the 5-star rares. And in fact, that's what I'll probably do here today. Just throw away the 5-star rares unless they look perfect. And then the boots and, you know, gauntlets and stuff you can hold on to if they're good. So defense with defense and crit rate, I'll probably hold on to that just in case. Fortitude, resistance and defense. This is where you start replacing the resist. If you start the resist set, this is better than the resist set. So it's the resistance plus it gets you extra 10% defense. So hold on to those. But again, all defensive stats, maybe speed, maybe accuracy if you're using it on a debuff. Lethal, crit rate plus 10%, ignores 25% of the enemy defense. This is an upgraded Savage set, and I don't throw anything away from this set because I have so little of it. But really you want crit damage, crit rate, maybe, you know, the main stat, like attack stat of attack percentage, defense percentage, HP percentage, and maybe speed. Like, so those are the stats you're generally looking for, but this is for a nuker. I'm not going to throw any of that away. Protection, I've got a ton of. This comes from the Hydra, and protection, you can actually look at this. Like, this gives a lot of bonuses. Resistance, HP, and speed, plus a protected buff. So resistance, HP, speed. Resistance, HP, speed. Yeah, you can put this on anybody who is a buffer. But again, you're going to want primarily defensive stats, resistance, HP percentage, defense percentage, speed, maybe accuracy if you have a buffer debuffer. But in a lot of cases, you won't even need accuracy, right? It's more about resistance, HP, speed, and defense. Stone Skin. Stone Skin is for anybody that you don't want to let die right away. So basically, they get the Stone Skin buff, and that just makes them really hard to kill. So it's like this extra shield on top of a shield, and it's hard to remove. So yeah, it has a 50% chance of blocking removals or steals. So this could go on a nuker. This could go on a bomb champion. This could go like on a Mortu Macabre. It can go on a Gaius the Gleeful. It can also go on a Ultimate Death Knight, like a defensive champion, on your Reviver. It could go on your Duchess Lilitu. It could go on your Pythion. So this is why I don't throw out too many of these things, but I should definitely go through this and probably throw out at least, you know, the 5-star blue gear if I have any of those. I think I've already done that cleanse. I should be looking at my blue gear here and seeing if I have the right stats on these pieces, but it's really hard to know. And the funny thing is I've saved all these pieces and I almost never use Stone Skin. So I should make a cleanse there. Instinct is speed, 12%, ignores 20% of the enemy's defense. So this is a little bit like Savage gear. It's a little bit like, what did we say here? Lethal gear, right? But it's giving you speed and taking away a little bit of the ignore enemy defense. So for 12% speed, you're trading away 5% ignore defense. So this is another good nuker ability, probably a PvE nuker rather than a PvP nuker, or maybe a PvP nuker if you really need somebody to go fast or who works well with speed. So again, I don't have too much of this. I'm not going to sell any of that. Bolster is an amazing set. Protected ally HP, protected 30% HP ally shield for 3 turns, heals by 10% every turn. So it's like a regeneration set with a shield set, and the shield set has a protected shield. Incredibly powerful set. And again, I don't really throw any of that away. Impulse. This is like a reflex set. You have 30% chance to reduce a random skill cooldown by 1, plus you get speed. So this is even better than reflex. Again, it's a 4-piece set, so you can't use the two sets together. But you could use this with a speed set to get 24% speed. And then you're basically getting a set for free, right? You're getting 1 speed set for free. Zeal. So we have a crit damage boost of 25% plus 7.5% damage for every 25% HP the target has. So if they have 100% HP, you are getting an additional 30% damage. So you could get 55%. And I'm not sure exactly how this damage works because I haven't done the calculations myself. So I think this is a straight up multiplier. So you're basically getting 30% more damage than you would otherwise. And you're getting 25% added to your crit damage. So I don't think this is a straight multiplier. I think this part is additive and this part is maybe multiplicative, or maybe it's just 55% crit damage. I don't really know, but it sounds cool. It sounds cool. And again, I don't have a lot of this, so I'm basically holding on to all of these pieces. All these sets down here at the bottom are really rare sets that we get from passes, and I only sell pieces that are complete and utter trash. Okay, so as you can see, without doing an entire gear cleanse here, I have cleared out over 100 pieces, 108 pieces. You can do the same thing for your accessories here. And I want to just talk through this quickly because I don't actually want to take you through all this. It's already a long video as it is. But the easiest things to get rid of here, first of all, I would go to your amulet first and go to a primary stat of attack. Okay. You don't want primary stat attack amulets. The only champions that get any benefit out of these are bomb champions. Otherwise, you want crit damage. If you have an attack-based nuker, they want crit damage on their amulets, not flat attack. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to sell all of these except for the special ones like the Revenge accessory. I'm just going to get rid of all. I'm not even going to look at them. I don't even care. I don't want to think about it. I just want to sell them, and I want to get my money. Thank you for my money, my silver, and thank you for my vault space. So, you know, over 1.7 million there. That's great. So that's the easiest thing to do. The next thing you can do is, you know, I generally want rings that have like the same stat, main stat in the percentage stat. So if you have a primary stat, let's say attack, and you look at a ring, you want attack percentage here, right? Attack percentage, attack percentage, attack percentage. This one doesn't have attack percentage, but it is a blood shield ring, so I'm holding onto it for that reason, because I might not have a lot of blood shield rings for the High Elves faction. You always want to keep your specialty rings until at least you build up a storage of a few of them, a reserve of a few of them. Now, once you get maybe 4 of each type, and if they're just sitting there, then you can start clearing out any ones that are really trash. As far as banners are concerned, you can see that the primary stats here are a little bit different because you have resistance and accuracy banners, and those are the most common banners you're probably going to use. And then you can use, you know, the other HP, defense, attack. Those are not bad. And certainly you're going to put those on champions. Like, you know, if you have an HP based nuker, you put HP, attack based nuker, you use attack. But accuracy is going to go on all of your debuffers, anybody who has an instant effect, anything like that. And then resistance is going to go on a lot of your champions who are like healers, revivers, cleansers. So these are really important. And then the substats you want on those are generally speed. So in terms of, you know, if you have an accuracy banner that doesn't have speed or a resistance banner that doesn't have speed, I usually ditch those. As far as the other ones, if I have an HP attack or defense banner that doesn't have speed, I have to look at the other stats. So if I go here and I look, well, that's accuracy. And it's accuracy without speed. I know I have held on to this one because it's not mixing attack stats with defense stats. Like accuracy is usually on a debuffer. Debuffers need to survive. These are all survival stats. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, so that is it. That was basically as fast as I could go here. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you found this helpful. You learned a little bit about the sets. You also learned about how to do a gear cleanse. Obviously, I still have to go in here and do more of a gear cleanse because that was not enough. I have to clear out another 100 or 200 spots at the very least. And I definitely have some space to do that. You know, we saw some sets where I could definitely clear out some stuff like resilience. Yeah, the resilience set. Just a lot of gear there that could go, and potentially also the protection set. You know, I don't like throwing out protection gear, but look at all those pieces. I should really go through that set and probably throw out 20 or 30 pieces and just keep the really good ones, because that's the other thing. Gear in your vault isn't helping you. Right? That's really the big lesson to take away from this. Whereas the silver that gear can give you could help you. So the best thing you can do is find if a gear piece has the potential to help you, roll it up to see if that potential gets fulfilled. If it does, you keep it. If it doesn't, you sell it. And if it's not even got potential to help you, then just sell it right away, take the silver and invest that somewhere else. Okay, that is it for me. I don't know if you found this informative or helpful. If you have, or if you haven't, please put that in the comments below. Let me know if you thought that this was a good video, or if you'd rather just never see a gear cleanse video again, because I could definitely do that. I could do my gear cleanses on my own time, and you don't have to watch it. I just thought it'd be informative, especially for newer players or mid-game players who haven't had to do a really big gear cleanse yet, or who are starting to collect more gear sets. And, if you collect just a few pieces in every gear set, that starts to build up. So as you get access to more of the advanced gear sets, you can definitely find that storage, running out pretty quickly. So gear cleanse is something that is a fundamental skill everybody needs to learn how to do, but I don't know if it makes for interesting watching. So definitely let me know that in the comments. Also consider liking this video or subscribing to the channel, if I could say that properly, subscribing to the channel, because that really would help us out. We are growing quickly. We have that 1,000 subscriber mark in our sights, and hopefully we can close that out pretty soon. Thank you so much for your support. I've been ColeRed. I will see you in another video soon.